What's up, guys? Westgate with Intentional Fitness here, bringing y'all another chest video. Today we're working on size and definition. So we're doing some high rep ranges, but we're really staying in that hypertrophy range for that 8 to 12, max 15 range. So here we're starting out with a pretty light weight for a warm-up. I don't do pec deck for super PRs or anything like that. Pec deck is simply to warm up and really challenge those muscle fibers early on. I like to start off with an isolation movement so that everything is primed and ready for the pressing movements later on, or the compound movements. Points of emphasis on this: keep your shoulders back and their elbows down. What this does is it makes sure that the load is on the chest and not the front delt. Another thing that you can do is to squeeze the handle at the back portion, and as you come forward, open those hands up. What that does is it activates the bicep to keep your elbow in place so that you're not having that elbow flare out, or flare up rather. Another cue is to push back with your feet. That way your back is all the way up against the pad. And then from there, just rep it out. Next up, we're doing a hammer press. This is slowly becoming one of my favorite movements. A lot of time getting set up for a dumbbell is really difficult. And for this, if you don't have the shoulder mobility, you can actually put a plate up underneath the arms here, and it'll actually have it up a little higher so you can get in there a little bit easier. On this, guys, it's pretty simple. We're trying to press our back into the bench, activating our chest. You're not doing a whole lot of hip drive in this. This is not for PRs. This is for reps. I think I go for 12, 13 here, something like that. You're just trying to get as much blood in the muscle as possible. Even if you have to do some shorter range of motion at the end, some pumps in there just to get a little bit more blood into that muscle. Following that, we have the decline fly. So I like to step out slightly so that the cables are behind me. Basically, what you want to how you want to line this up is the bottom of your sternum needs to be upright, and then you want the cables to pull right in there. You'll also feel a little bit of pull in your serratus anterior, or the almost like where your lats and ribs are is kind of where you're going to feel that tension. Basically, what you have to do is you have to keep those shoulders down and not let them rise up too much. Decompress our shoulders. That's going to load that chest very, very well so that we're not getting a whole lot of trap activation. From there, you're squeezing those handles together. And then as soon as we're done with that, we're switching into a press. Now, this is a lot like a dip, but it's lighter weight, so you should be able to control it really, really well. It's a mechanical drop set, meaning that we go from a really disadvantageous position to an advantageous position. From here, we're getting that dip with that adduction, just squeezing really hard at the bottom. Staying on the cable machine, I lost the footage from the first half, but I got the other half. So this is a cross-body fly, single arm. The reason why I like to do these is because it really loads that middle part of the chest really well, because that's where that most of the stretch is coming from. You're not getting a whole lot of that pec minor because you are in a position where it's not pulling behind you. It's pulling out to your left and a little bit behind you. So you're getting a lot of that mid-chest activation there. And you see my thumbs right there because I'm just literally trying to squeeze my thumb out of the middle of my chest each time. Points of emphasis here: try to keep your hips square and try to keep your shoulders square. It's a core exercise as much as it is a chest exercise in some points. Finally, we're getting to my incline press. Here, we're on a Smith machine, not super heavy weight. We're trying to get 15 to 20 reps here and just get as much blood into that muscle as possible. This is going to be a really great exercise for that upper chest as long as you do it properly. So remember, we're not trying to push the weight away from our body, because that's going to activate our delts and our tricep and everything else but our chest. You want to be thinking the whole time, pushing your back into the bench. Another thing that I like to do is you'll see I pull my body up a little bit, almost like I'm doing a pull up to the bar. What that does is it helps me keep my back retracted the whole time, and it also enforces that motion of pushing my back into the bench. And here I'm just dying. You'll see that really what I'm trying to do here is just absolutely exhaust the muscle, because I'm done with chest after this. Everything from here on out is just going to be abs, which is not a whole lot anyway. So guys, let's talk about ab training for a second, because this is a really long clip. Abs, first off, are earned in the kitchen. They're not earned in the gym. You can help earn them by going to the gym, but for the most part, they are earned by being in a calorie deficit so that you don't have a ton of fat covering your abdomen. Now, how do we train abs? Because ultimately that's what I'm doing here. Well, I like to do strength training rather than just your standard crunches or Russian twists or what have you. Now, what does that mean? I like to load my abs with weight like I do anything else, any other muscle. And for this, I chose the cable ab crunch. I don't know what the official name is called. That's what I'm calling it. Now, points of emphasis here. First off, my feet are right up against that bar so that it's not pulling me back the whole time, because I am loading the weight to a point where it's going to try to pull me up. And then my abs are challenged to try to keep my spine in line. Now, from there, I'm doing a lot of reps. I mean, I'm still talking on this clip, and I'm not even close to done. I still got another 20 seconds left. We're sitting there, and we're blowing all the air out of our diaphragm each time, because it makes it really hard for our abs to contract whenever we have a lot of air in our diaphragm. As far as the contraction itself goes, you want to pull your abs into your spine as you go down. That is what is going to help activate the most. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.